Welcome to Build Your House Yourself University by HiU. We've made it to episode 105. I'm your host and fellow student, Michelle Nelson, and together we'll learn the basics of home design and construction and demystify the building process so we can better understand our options and build quality dream homes with or without a general contractor. Outdoor living spaces are more important than ever. Most folks building new homes want a deck, porch, and/or patio where they can entertain or just relax as a family. When choosing the materials for the construction of your deck, porch, or patio, the style of your home and your personal preference should definitely be considered. A traditional colonial-style home would look nice with a brick patio, for example, whereas a more contemporary house might look better with an outdoor space made of poured concrete or sleek pavers. But in addition to aesthetic considerations, we should also think about maintenance, cost, and the pros and cons of each material. So let's get right into it, starting with natural stone. Natural stone, such as slate, quartzite, bluestone, travertine, and limestone, can be used for the flooring of patios and sometimes decks. The American Society of Landscape Architects recommends choosing a stone from your region because it'll be stable in your climate and it will blend in seamlessly with your environment. Natural stone will last longer and hold its color better than any other material. You might opt for stone flooring if your patio has bends, curves, or an unusual shape, since stone can be cut to fit around curves and mortar can be used to fill in gaps. Although most homeowners are attracted to the look and durability of stone, it does have some disadvantages. Stone has irregular surfaces that makes walking on it challenging, especially for small children, the elderly, and women in high heels. In addition, the gaps between the stone pieces are prone to weed growth. Finally, stone can be heavy, and it's usually the most expensive option. Next, let's talk about concrete pavers, which often have a look similar to natural stone without all the expense. Concrete pavers are made of concrete that's denser than poured concrete. That dense concrete is compacted to form individual units that can mimic brick or natural stone. Pavers come in a variety of colors and shapes. Since most pavers are laid as separate units, individual pavers can be replaced if damaged without significantly disturbing the rest of the patio. This ability to fairly easily remove and replace pavers is particularly advantageous for pool decking, just in case you need to get to pool pipes that lie beneath the decking material. When set in sand, the pavers have a little bit of give, so they can withstand changes in temperature and loads. That allows pavers to shift slightly instead of cracking. Permeable concrete pavers are also available for ground-level patios. They allow rainwater to filter through and seep back into the soil slowly instead of quickly running off the patio surface. This decreases the risk of soil erosion and water seeping into the home's foundation. So, those are the advantages of concrete pavers. Let's talk about the disadvantages. Due to their strict geometric shapes, there are a limited number of deck patterns that can be created with pavers. Also, some concrete pavers have only surface pigments that can fade over time, and when scratched, can reveal the bare, unstained concrete beneath the surface pigment. Finally, the spaces between the pavers are prone to weed growth, especially if the pavers are not installed properly. And those spaces between the pavers can also make it difficult to walk in high heels, which is definitely not a good thing if you plan on having lots of fancy outdoor parties. Let's look at another way to use concrete to create a patio. Poured concrete. Poured concrete is basically a combination of cement, sand, and gravel that's mixed with water and can be formed into a deck or patio of almost any size or shape. Poured concrete is a great option if you want a curved patio or deck. Poured concrete is also a fairly economical option that requires little maintenance. The drawbacks of concrete patios and decks are that the actual mixing of the concrete can be tricky, since the process has to be done with exact specifications for best results. And although almost all concrete surfaces will crack over time, improperly mixed concrete is even more prone to cracking. Poured concrete may not be the best choice if your patio will be over plumbing or electrical lines because the patio will need to be removed if those lines need to be repaired. Another con? Most concrete will stain over time. You can get concrete slabs power washed, but just realize that that's an extra cost down the line. Finally, concrete can have a very industrial or stark look and may not be very attractive with more traditional homes. To warm up that usual plain gray smooth look of concrete, you might consider stamped or tinted concrete. The concrete can be stamped and colored to give the appearance more like bricks, pavers, or stone. But don't overexpect. Stamped concrete can look nice, but it looks like stamped concrete, not genuine stone or brick. Stamping and tinting concrete will cost more than regular poured concrete, but usually, depending on the type of treatment, it will cost less than pavers or brick. Moving on to tile. Ceramic or porcelain tiles can give your patio or deck a beautiful high-end look. Tiles come in a wide variety of colors and styles, and many of them look just like the tiles used indoors. But make sure to use both tile and grout that are meant for exterior use. It's also important to use tiles that are relatively non-porous and slip-resistant. If you avoid porous, slippery tiles, which can allow for algae growth and falls, the main downside of tile is there is a wide price variation, and some tiles are extremely expensive, sometimes costing even more than natural stone. Next, let's consider brick. Brick has been a popular home construction material for hundreds of years, but bricks used for patios are usually a little different than the ones used for our homes. They must be specially fired, so they're less porous. Make sure to check that your bricks are the correct grade for your type of environment, especially if you live in an area that freezes. Brick patios don't have to be red and linear. Along with red, bricks come in tan, black, gray, cream, and other shades, and you can create beautiful patterns with brick. Bricks can offer natural warmth and beauty, but there are some drawbacks. If installed on sand instead of mortar, you can have weeds popping up between the bricks just like with pavers and natural stone. If not properly installed, bricks can be more uneven than pavers. This can also happen over time as brick settles. Finally, brick can be fairly expensive, usually costing more than concrete pavers. Next on our list, wood composite decking. Wood composite decking is made of real wood fibers and man-made plastic material. It's also known as wood polymer composites, wood alternatives, or synthetic decking. Composite has quickly become the fastest-growing decking material for residential use. It's weather-resistant, stain-resistant, and lightweight. Plus, it won't splinter or rot. Composite wood is more linear, which makes it difficult to put bends and curves into your porch design. It's possible to cut composite wood to fit rounded porch shapes, but it requires more engineering, more time, and more money. Some of the cons of composite deck material are that many brands look obviously cheap and fake, and I mean really fake. And some of the brands are also slippery. Eventually, composite material will show signs of age and deterioration, especially if your deck is exposed to direct sunlight, which makes composite material more likely to fade. Another con is that composite tends to sag and bend more than real wood. Finally, even though many manufacturers promise their wood composite material is maintenance-free, many wood composites are prone to moss and mildew growth, requiring yearly pressure washing. Lastly, let's talk about the most popular original deck material, wood. Real wood has warmth and beauty, and many species are fairly inexpensive. However, wood is high maintenance, requiring regular sealing. If not maintained, wood can split, crack, change color, and rot. It's also prone to insect damage. You can choose pressure-treated wood, which has preservatives added to it so that it makes the wood more resistant to the elements, rot, and insects. But pressure-treated decking has an unnatural color, and it warps and bends, and some folks dislike the fact that it has chemicals added to it. As with most of our choices for our new homes, we'll have to make some compromises with whatever deck material we choose. No one material is a perfect choice for everyone, so weigh the pros and cons thoughtfully. That's all I have for you this week. If you like the show, make sure you subscribe so that new episodes will automatically be downloaded to your device. To subscribe, search ByHiU, BYHYU, or search Build Your House and select the show, then hit the subscribe button. Thanks for joining me this week. I hope you learned as much as I did. Come back next week for another episode of Build Your House Yourself University. ByHiU. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete, it's subject to change, and it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home.